Hey guys, welcome back to It's Now or Never. I'm your host, Alex Willard, and today is season 2, episode 8, and we are really going to be talking about false validation and what that looks like, if you're seeking validation from sources that you shouldn't. This is something that really, really resonates with me, especially at this time in my life. I am such a, I thrive, not thrive. I don't thrive. I feel like I'm good enough if I have a busy calendar and if I have a lot to do. That validates me that I'm doing enough. And I feel, I don't, I don't know if you guys ever feel like this, but I constantly feel like I have to prove myself every day. In every single aspect of my life, I feel like I have to prove myself, whether that comes to school, work, my friendships, my relationship, myself, like my relationship with myself when it comes to the gym, eating, I always have to be on my best game, working my hardest, or else I'm a loser, is what I feel like. Today I was supposed to film this probably 3 hours ago, and I took a nap for 2 hours. I just fell asleep. I wasn't supposed to fall asleep. I was supposed to actually just go work out and go to the gym and then come back and film this. And I fell asleep. And so it's late at night and I'm like, I have to be up early tomorrow, but I want to go to the gym. If I don't go to the gym, I'm going to feel like crap about myself. But if I do go to the gym, I'm going to be up late. I'm probably not going to wake up on time tomorrow morning. And I'm probably not going to give my podcast the attention that it needs when it comes to editing and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm like, what battle am I going to pick here? Am I going to pick the battle of waking up in the morning and, possibly being late? Or am I going to pick the battle with myself of feeling like I'm not good enough? And so right now, I think I'm actually coming to terms with the fact that this is something I struggle with. I don't know if there's a word for it, if anybody knows the word for it. Actually, let's look it up. Okay, I did find that what you call someone if they constantly need validation, which is approval addiction, which maybe some of you guys have that. Okay, I also I used to have a really big problem with this, and I still find myself doing it with my boyfriend, but I am constantly seeking approval from people around me, especially men. I struggled so much with that before I started dating my boyfriend, and I still struggle with it now with him sometimes. I tend to forget that I'm smart and nice and hardworking, and I sometimes I try to seek approval for what I have to offer physically. And at the end of the day, yes, it's quick validation, but and I feel like this validation is sometimes what society makes you feel like is what you should be looking for. I feel like nowadays, I don't know how it was when I wasn't a kid and way back when, but I feel like nowadays, girls at just a younger and younger and younger age are feeling like they have to perform and they have to make themselves look sexy and start wearing makeup and dress a certain way and act a certain way and almost put on for everybody else in the world to make themselves seem like they're good enough, or eligible. And this is something I always struggle with. That's one of the reasons why I put so much weight on mental weight on looking good. Physically, I have to look good. I can't have cellulite. I can't be bloated. I have to look good every day because I have to I feel like I have to put on this show for everyone else around me because that's what society makes me feel like I have to do, if that makes sense. And so I feel like I'm not even going after myself in these aspects of my life for myself to feel better about me, but it's so society sees me as good enough. if that makes sense to anyone. But then, transitioning from that, because I've struggled with that for so long, like physical validation from people. I've struggled with that for a really, really, really long time. And I think I've struggled with that since like back in middle school, when I like realized like, oh, like guys pay attention to me guys pay attention to my body. It wasn't me, like, in particular, just that's the age that every guy starts to like think about girls physically. And so I feel like then us girls, we feel like we have to act a certain way. And so, back in middle school, high school, and then I get to college. And it's not just that we're competing for anymore. Now we're competing for who's the smartest and who has the best resume and who's going to get the best job. Like, it's not just, it still is all about how you look. But then on top of that, can you do all of these things? And can you do them better than the girl next to you? Because college is a very highly competitive environment. And so sometimes when you're around people that are all like, you're around a bunch of high achievers and people that overwork themselves and fill their calendars, then you feel like you have to too. Because you feel like you have to compete with everybody else around you. And that's what happened to me. The water around me was poisoned and I drank it. And now I'm in this constant fight with myself every day, and everyone around me has started to realize it too. Like that I have a problem with this. I have a problem taking on too much. I have a problem saying no to obligations. Like I have a problem with, and the thing is I will add stuff to my plate, not just because people want me to do something, but like because I feel like I have to. And I'm like, oh, that student organization sounds amazing. They do really cool things. That looks like it could be really beneficial to me. I'm going to join that. And then, oh, that one looks really cool. I'm going to join that. Oh, my friend Susie wants me to join this one. I'm going to join that one. And then it just builds and builds and builds. And then I feel like I can't quit. Like now I've like stepped myself into these positions and like, what am I supposed to do now? Right? I'm so proud of myself. I actually just quit one of my student organizations that was causing me such a headache, and I didn't want to do it. I'm not a quitter. My mom, this is what my mom told me growing up. She said, your last name is Willard. It has will in it. It starts with will. It doesn't have quit in it. You're not a quitter. You will do something. And that's what she always told me. And so she raised me not to be a quitter. And so I'm like, I can't quit anything because I'm not a quitter. I feel awful if I quit an obligation of mine. But like, what happens when it comes to the fact that it's, jeopardizing your mental health and it's taking energy away from you and it's not benefiting you at all? Then what do you do? Like, yes, you signed up for this and you said you were going to do something, but like, once you do what you need to do and it's not fulfilling you, like, what are you supposed to do after that? Are you just going to sit there and be miserable? Like, are you going to sit in a toxic environment? Are you going to continue to do something that's toxic for you? And so that's when I really had to, and I'm an overthinker. So I got on the phone with my mom one night and I was just like, I think I'm going to quit. And the fact that that was my initial, like, I think I'm going to do this, I had to stick with it because I'm like, I need to trust my gut feeling, because if I sit on something and I overthink it, I'm not going to do it. But yeah, sometimes you don't want to quit something, but sometimes you need to, and you need to realize when that time is, because you need to be looking out for you. You don't need to be worried about what is everyone else going to think if I quit this. Like, look out for you, because at the end of the day, you're stuck with yourself and you're the only one that's truly looking out for yourself. So remember that when you are doing something that is actively taking energy away from you and stressing you out and making you upset, like, remember that and take care of your guys. Take care of yourselves, please. Like, okay. So I went to breakfast with my boyfriend today, actually, and it's this place. I've been there a bajillion times. I get the same thing every time. And this time I was like, oh my God, like, I think I'm going to get something new. I really wanted to get this one sandwich. And I was like, I don't know. I couldn't decide. And I sat there for probably 10 minutes thinking about it. And I knew he already knew what he was going to order. And I knew he was waiting on me. And so I finally was like, okay, we'll just call the waiter, whatever. She comes up. She's like, what do you want to eat? And I'm like, you order first. He orders his thing. And I'm about to order this new thing, right? I'm about to order it. And I'm like, she picks me and I'm like, oh my God. And then I just get the same thing I always get. Like, I spent 10 minutes thinking about trying to get this other thing when I just ended up getting the same thing and not changing my mind at all. When I should have, like, Alex, it's just a freaking sandwich. It's just a sandwich. And I was freaking out about it. See, and that's the thing. Like, I'm an overthinker. And so I'm like, if I have a gut feeling about something, if I have a gut feeling about somebody, oh my God. Okay. So, my closest friends will know exactly what I'm talking about. But I get this thing from my mom, okay? My mom can meet a person, and the first time she meets them, she knows exactly what kind of person they are. She knows if she can trust them. And she knows that they're a snake. And I get this. I inherited this from my mom. So the first time I meet people, I know what kind of person they are, and sometimes I choose to ignore it. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm going to see this through. I'm going to try to figure out who this person is, whatever. And back in the fall, I was talking to this guy for literally first time I met him. The first day I met him, I'm like, this guy's a pathological liar. Is he though? I'm like, is he a pathological liar though? Like, come on. Maybe I'm just being crazy. Maybe his stories that he's telling are real. His crazy stories. I'm like, maybe it's real. So, talked to this guy for like a couple weeks, maybe a month. And I'm just like, every single time I see this guy, every single time he tells me a story, all of his friends are like, he's such a liar. And I'm like, okay, if his friends are saying it, if I have this gut feeling, I'm like, it's got to be true. It's got to be true. Turns out this guy was actually insane, and he was a pathological liar. Like, the things he would lie about were, like, crazy. He's an awful person for lying about the things he lied about. And if you're listening to this, you know who you are, and you suck. But that's when I was really like, you really can't trust anyone out here. Like, the things that people lie about, it is crazy. Turns out he was just a regular guy. And you know what? That's the thing. Like, people that feel like that they have to, like, lie about their lives to, like, make themselves sound more exciting. Like, you're really boring, aren't you? You're really boring. That you feel like you have to make up all these lies, like, crazy lies. Like, they're not even little white lies. Like, they're just, like, awfully, like, just off-the-wall lies. Like, they're not true at all. If you had to do that, your life really, really must be boring. And if that's the case, go make your life more exciting. Like, please go make your life more exciting. Because there comes to a point, like, people will see right through you. And it's not good to be a liar. It's not good. And it's not cute either. Like, once I find out that somebody in my life has lied to me, I'm like, okay, I'm done. Great talking to you. I'm out. Like, you cannot convince me otherwise, like, to be friends with you, to continue talking to you, like, to trust you. No, you lie to me, I'm out of here. Done. I get it. People change, and I think they do, but my time here has come, and I leave. But that took a completely different sidetrack that I meant for it to take, but trusting your gut instinct on things. So, like, when you decide to commit to something, whether that's a relationship, a student organization, whatever, like, you stick it through. You're going to be all in or you're out. Like, you don't half-ass something. Do not half-ass something. Because don't put something on your resume that you half-assed. That's embarrassing. And here, like, in college, like, we're doing things to put them on our resumes, to better ourselves professionally, to better ourselves mentally, philanthropically, like, different things like that. So if you're going to put something on there that you didn't really try at, really? So, If you're like if this applies to you, you need to listen to this. I promise, because I needed it. If you are in like a student org and you're just like, oh my God, like this is too much for me, I can't handle it, or this friendship of mine is just, I can't handle this girl anymore, or whatever, like you have that gut feeling, like this, like I want to quit this, like I want to be done with this, wash my hands clean of it and move on. Trust your gut. Really trust your gut. Unless your gut has proven to you over and over that it's not right, which is very unlikely, like you need to trust your gut and you need to wash your hands clean of that and turn around and walk away. Just be done with it. And I promise you, it sucks in the moment, but it is so much better for you in the end. Like now you have free time. Now you can breathe. You don't have something taking energy away from you and making you feel like crap and making you feel like all this hard work is going to nowhere. Like it's not a toxic environment for you. And same goes for like if you have a job that you do not like. It's not, you don't enjoy what you do. You don't enjoy the environment you work in. Like you don't look forward to doing what you do. Quit. Like find something else and move on. Like we are only here for such a short amount of time when you think about it. Like you only have so much time. It's so precious. Waste it wisely. Like really. We only have so much time in our lives. Like, okay, we have 20 years in the beginning that we just spend 22 years we spend kind of screwing off doing whatever. Then you go into the real world. Like, do you really want to spend that chunk of time that you have? Like, time is not infinite. Do you really want to spend that chunk of time that you have doing something that you don't enjoy? Even if you're in college and you're doing something for 6 months, do you really want to do that? Do you want to waste your time on something you don't enjoy? Or would you rather spend your time doing something else? Right? So, I mean, it's like, okay, so you have two options when okay. Actually, I am learning in econ right now. And if any of you guys went to college, if any of you guys are in econ, or you just know what I'm talking about, there's a thing called opportunity cost. So it's the things you give up to do the other thing, right? So what is I had an opportunity cost issue this evening. I fell asleep. I slept too long. So I either could have filmed my podcast, edited, and gone to bed early, or I could have gone to the gym, filmed my podcast, edited, and then gone to bed probably a lot later. So for me, filming my podcast and just going to bed, I'm giving up going to the gym. If I were to go to the gym and then film my podcast and do everything, I'm giving up a good night's sleep. So when you are choosing to come home from class and sit on TikTok for 2 or 3 hours, what are you giving up? What is the most valuable thing that you could be doing at that point in time? Could you be going on a walk? Could you be going paddleboarding? Could you be spending it intentionally with friends? Could you be doing homework? Could you be filming a podcast and starting a business? The options are endless, but I urge you to think about that next time you decide to spend your time a certain way or your energy. And I really go by this thing of like, you should only do things that contribute to your energy, that give you energy, that make you feel full, not things that take that away from you. But it is a lesson that took me a very, very long time to learn, and I'm still learning it. But yeah, I mean, I really think sticking with your gut and doing things that are good for you and beneficial to you is super, super important. And just taking care of your mental health at the end of the day. I know this was probably a little all over the place kind of episode, but I needed to hear it. I know a lot of you guys needed to hear it, but anywho, I love you guys so much. If you want to keep up with me, you can follow me on inon.pod. So that's at inon.pod on Instagram. And then It's Now or Never Pod on YouTube. And then don't forget, if you want to submit a question for me to talk about in a future episode, a topic you want me to talk about, whatever you need advice on something, you can go to alexandrawillard.com/submit a question, and you can put that in there and then tell me what you want me to talk about next. But besides that, guys, I love you guys so much. It's hump day. Please take care of yourselves and have an amazing spring break. I love you all so much, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.